Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Prabhu.
Krishna Mataji.
Krishna Prabhu, Dandavat Pranam.
Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna Prabhu, Dandavat Pranam.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Dandavat.
Hare Krishna Dandavat Pranam.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Dandavat.
Hare Krishna Dandavat Pranam.
Prabhu, we missed you on Sunday.
Yeah, Mataji, so much of pile of work in the house that I'm just running all the time. So I'm not finding one day time also. I said, okay, I'm going to, no, I missed even the morning temple. I'm not going there. So I sat and did a lot of, first my room was like a junkyard. I just set it up a little bit. Then got into some shape. So now I need to do another day like this. Then it'll be okay.
Yes.
Okay. You're all doing good?
Yes, Prabhu, by the grace of Prabhupada.
Okay. Okay, excellent. Okay, so can we see the screen? Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadadi Swapadandikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yutapada Kamalam Shri Gurum Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sagitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Pada Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanusute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Namo Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasnaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschata Desatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaur Bhaktavrind Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Rama Hare Hare. Yeah, welcome all. So we'll continue to read this is 12th canto. Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, so which sloka are we in?
In 6th sloka, Prabhu. 5th chapter, 6th sloka. Rajaha. Samrashtra.
Okay. Okay, so now the performance ceremony, Nandotsava. Okay. Okay, 5.6, let's read.
Yeah. Canto 10, chapter 5, verse number 6. Vrajaha samrushta samsikta dvara jira gruhantaraha chitra dvaja pataka srakchaila pallava toranai. Translation. Prabhu, your screen is not to be seen.
I'm not sure. No?
Yes, Prabhu.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was reading 12th canto, so I got confused and I was showing up. Okay.
Translation by Srila Prabhupada, Jai Srila Prabhupada. Vrajapura, the residence of Nanda Maharaja, was fully decorated with varieties of festoons and flags, and in different places, gates were made with varieties of flower garlands, pieces of cloth, and mango leaves. The courtyards, the gates near the roads, and everything within the rooms of the houses were perfectly swept and washed with water. Hare Krishna.
Washed with water. Okay. It's near the roads and rooms. Okay. 5.7.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. I'll read Prabhu. Text 7. Gavo Vrisha Vatsatara Haridra Vatsatara Haridra Taila Rushitaha Vichitra Dhatu Barhasrag Vastra Kanchana Malinaha. Translation by Srila Prabhupada, Jai Srila Prabhupada. The cows, the bulls, and the calves were thoroughly smeared with a mixture of turmeric and oil, mixed with varieties of minerals. Their heads were bedecked with peacock feathers, and they were garlanded and covered with cloth and golden ornaments. Purport. The Supreme Personality of Godhead has instructed in Bhagavad Gita 18.44, Krishi Go Raksha Vanijyam Vaishya Karma Swabhavajam. Farming, cow protection, and trade are the qualities of work for the Vaishyas. Nanda Maharaja belonged to the Vaishya community, the agriculturist community. How to protect the cows and how rich this community was are explained in these verses. We can hardly imagine that cows, bulls, and calves could be cared for so nicely and decorated so well with cloths and valuable golden ornaments. How happy they were, as described elsewhere in Bhagavatam. During Maharaja Yudhishthira's time, the cows were so happy that they used to muddy the pasturing ground with milk. This is Indian civilization. Yet in the same place, India, Bharatavarsha, how much people are suffering by giving up the Vedic way of life and not understanding the teachings of Bhagavad Gita. Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Okay, 5.8. You want to add any comments? Okay, 5.8.
Maha Arha Vastrabharana Kanchuka Ushnishta Bhushitaha Gopa Samayuya
Yeah, you Rajan.
Yayu Rajan Nana Upayana Panayaha. Translation. When we consider the
Oh, King Parishit.
King Parikshit, the cowherd man dressed very opulently with valuable ornaments and garments, such as coats and turbans, decorated in this way and carrying various presentations in their hands. They approached the house of Nanda Maharaja, purport by Srila Prabhupada, Jai Srila Prabhupada. When we consider the past condition of the agriculturalist in the village, we can see how opulent he was simply because of agricultural produce and protection of cows. At the present, however, agriculture having been neglected and cow protection given up, the agriculturist is suffering pitiably and is dressed in a niggardly torn cloth. This is the distinction between the India of history and the India of the present day. By the atrocious activities of Ugra Karma, how we are killing the opportunity of the human civilization. Hare Krishna.
We are killing the opportunity of human civilization. Okay. So now you see, originally the farmers are supposed to be very rich. And now farmers are the poorest.
Nowadays.
Of course, some farmers are rich enough, but you have to look at an average and a larger scale. Then you'll see how farmers are struggling. So the reason are many. History India and present India. Okay. 5.9.
Hare Krishna. Text 5.9. Gopyascha karnya mudita yasodaya sutodbhavam atmanam bhushayan chakrur vastra kalpanjanadibihi. Translation. The gopi wives of the cowherd men were very pleased to hear that Mother Yasoda had given birth to a son, and they began to decorate themselves very nicely with proper dresses, ornaments, black ointment for the eyes, and so on. Hare Krishna.
Okay. So festival means see how they beautifully dress up. Okay, 510.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. Text 10. Nava kunkuma kinjalka mukha pankaja bhutaya balibhistvaritam jagmuhu prutushroonyascha
Chalat kuchaha.
kuchaha. Translation. Their lotus-like faces, extraordinarily beautiful, being decorated with saffron and newly grown kunkuma, the wives of the cowherd men hurried to the house of Mother Yashoda with presentations in their hands. Because of natural beauty, the wives had full hips and full breasts, which moved as they hurried along. Purport. The cowherd men and women in the villages lived a very natural life, and the women developed a natural feminine beauty with full hips and breasts. Because women in modern civilization do not live naturally, their hips and breasts do not develop this natural fullness. Because of artificial living, women have lost their natural beauty, although they claim to be independent and advanced in material civilization. This description of the village woman gives a clear example of the contrast between natural life and the artificial life of a condemned society, such as that of the Western countries, where topless, bottomless beauty may be easily purchased in clubs and shops and for public advertisements. The word Balibhi indicates that the women were carrying gold coins, jeweled necklaces, nice clothes, newly grown grass, sandalwood pulp, flower garlands, and similar offerings on plates made of gold. Such offerings are called Bali. The word Tvaritam Jagmuhu indicate how happy the village women were to understand that Mother Yashoda had given birth to a wonderful child known as Krishna. Hare Krishna.
An ordinary woman those days was also opulent, looks like. Both her bodily features as well as the additional ornaments that she wears on it. No comparison to today's what we see women as. You all agree? Well, Mataji is here, they will know the answer better than me.
We agree, Prabhu. We are in the new trend, and that's why we don't look beautiful at all.
Yeah, beauty is in the eyes of the beholder.
Prabhu, here newly grown grass means the newly harvested rice, Prabhu, paddy. Newly grown grass, it says, no, Prabhu. Nice cloths, newly grown grass, sandalwood pulp. The last paragraph, Prabhu. The last line of the paragraph.
Women are carrying gold coins, jewel necklace, nice clothes, newly grown grass. So, newly grown grass means fresh grass. Sandalwood pulp, flower garlands.
But what is the use of newly grown grass, Prabhu, to the child who is born? Is there something auspicious?
No, for the cows, no.
For the cows, they're taking it.
Cows, see, grass is rich in protein. Grass is actually very rich in protein. And when cows eat that, they relish it. They enjoy it. They jump when they see those newly fresh grown grass. Because they're tender, they're soft.
Okay.
If the grass grows older and becomes harder, the cows don't like to munch it.
Okay, Prabhu.
So like that it is.
Thank you, Prabhu.
See, and similar offerings on plates made of gold. Let me even grass, they were taking gold plates. Okay, 511.
5.11 Gopyah sumrushta manikundala nishkakantasya chitrambaraha pati sikakshuta malya varshaha nandalayam savalaya vrajatir vireju Vyalola Kundala Payodharahara Shobha. Translation. In the ears of gopis were brilliantly polished jeweled earrings, and from their necks hung metal lockets. Their hands were decorated with bangles. Their dresses were of varied colors, and from their hair flowers fell onto the street like showers. Thus, while going to the house of Maharaja Nanda, the gopis, their earrings, braids, and garlands moving, were brilliantly beautiful.
Our Acharya seems to be very poetic, huh? The way he describes. Then, Perfect.
The description of the gopis who were going to the house of Maharaja Nanda to welcome Krishna is especially significant. The gopis were not ordinary women, but expressions of Krishna's pleasure potency as described the Brahma Samhita 5.37-29. Ananda Chinmaya Rasha Pratibhavitabi Tabirya Eva Nijarupataya Kalabihi Golokayeva Nivasatya Kilatma Bhuto Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami 5.37. Chintamani Prakarasatma Sukalpa Ruksha Lakshavruteshu surabhirabhipalayantam Lashmi sahasraseta sambrama sevyamanam Govindamadi purusham tamaham bhajami. 5.29. Krishna is always worshipped by the gopis where he goes. Therefore, Krishna is so vividly described in Srimad Bhagavatam. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has also described Krishna in this way. Ramya Achidupasana Vraja Vadu Vargena Ya Kalpita. All these gopis were going to offer Krishna their presentations because the gopis are eternal associates of the Lord. Now the gopis were more jubilant because of the news of Krishna's appearance in Vrindavana. Hare Krishna.
Yeah, so why Prabhupada uses these two slokas? Because the gopis and Krishna, wherever they are, that place is Vaikuntha. So whether it is that Vaikuntha or this Vaikuntha, there's no difference. So hence Krishna is describing the beauty. Prabhupada is describing the beauty so wonderfully. In the 10th canto, there are many chapters which describe the Dham, describe the beauty of the gopis. So much there is description. We will read all of them as we move forward. Yeah, 5.12.
Hare Krishna, text 5.12. Ta asisha prajana chiram pahiti balake haridra churna taila bihi sinchayantyo janam ujjahu. Translation. Offering blessings to the newborn child Krishna, the wives and the daughters of the cowherd men said, "May you become the king of the Vraja and long maintain all its inhabitants." They sprinkled a mixture of turmeric powder, oil, and water upon the birthless Supreme Lord and offered their praise. Hare Krishna.
I'm just wondering, what will the Lord be thinking in his heart? Huh? So wonderful. So hence he becomes Rajendra Nandana. Huh? Davaneshwara. Okay. Good, 13. Anyone wants to comment? You can comment. I'm just moving forward because just descriptions and I'm enjoying the descriptions. Anyone would like to comment? What have you known of or questions?
Hare Krishna Prabhu, I had one doubt, Prabhu. I had one doubt, Prabhu. Gopis don't know now. Do they know now that Krishna is the Supreme Lord, or they don't know, Prabhu?
They don't know. Yogamai, what do you say? Yogamai spreads a special illusion that they will not know.
Okay.
Mother Yashoda won't know Krishna is Supreme Lord. Nanda Maharaj will not know he is the Supreme Lord. Gopis won't know that he is Supreme Lord. So without knowing, see, what is the difference is if we know that he is Supreme Lord, then we'll fall at his feet, we'll worship, we'll do all those things. But that is not purity and expression of love. Purity and expression of love is you love someone unconditionally, without knowing his background. Let's say Krishna says, I'm a cowherd boy. What do I have? I have nothing. Right? So they show their love. When they show their love, Krishna manifests to steal. Now, what does he steal? He steals many things. He steals the butter, that is from external viewpoint. But he steals the heart, the love of the gopis. He steals the love of his lovers. He steals their heart. And not only that, Krishna steals for people who really, fall in love with him and then, give their life for Krishna. Krishna steals away his sins, their sins. Krishna steals away their anarthas. Krishna steals away all the reactions of one's activities. So not just love of Godhead, but he steals things beyond imagination. Everything he steals away. So now why he steals away? Because people don't know he's the Supreme Lord, but they're expressing their love. This is called, love without expectations. Unanointed love, unalloyed love, unanointed with love in their eyes. So not anointed. So that's the point. That's the difference between Vasudeva and Krishna, Nanda Maharaj, right? See, Nanda Maharaj did not know Krishna is Supreme Lord. He loved him so much. Mother Yashoda loved him so much. They outpoured that love. Now, look at the life of Vasudeva. From birth, he knew. Now he is Vasudeva. He is Lord. He could not express many things to him as a father. Now, what happens in Dwarka pastimes? Krishna comes back to Dwarka and Vasudeva is living with him. Now, Vasudeva is bewildered about the fact that, hey, my son is Supreme Personal Godhead. So I don't know what to do. For example, we will go to temple, we'll see Krishna, we'll fall at his feet, we'll make nice things, we'll perform Navavidha Bhakti with him. We'll do so many things. But the Vasudeva is like bewildered. Hey, he's my son, how do I worship him? I can worship my elderly people. How can I worship my own son who was born to me? So he could not express the Vatsalya Rasa with him at all. He had a tough time. Till Narada Muni intervened and explained him. So that's important. So even in Sachi Mata's case. Now, in the earlier stages of life, Sachi Mata loved Gaura Mahaprabhu and his brother Vishwarupa so much. She was so possessive about them. And because of that affection, it was difficult for Mahaprabhu to leave his mother and go away. She was not letting him go at all. And she, in fact, Sachimata stopped Mahaprabhu from taking sannyas. Oh, I've already lost one more child. I'll lose another child also. And in fact, she wanted him to marry Vishnu Priya and then, have a grihastha life and things like that, because she didn't know anything. Just outpouring that love. Later on, when she came to know about Mahaprabhu's real position, she didn't know fully, but whatever she came to know. So she had a different consciousness in her heart. So that's important. You can see rasas also. Rasas are different when we know a personality and we don't know a personality. So if you read the latest sections of Nectar of Devotion, you will understand many of these things. There's a chapter which talks about the mood of the Gopakumaras. Really something very brilliant. So every day morning, Krishna would get up. And then his mother, Yashoda, would tie him anklet. He'll, tie the cloth around Angostram or whatever it may be, and keep a flute. And like that, she'll get Krishna ready. So his friend would come and he would be at the gate until Mother Yashoda comes and he will enter. He enters and then mother will be tying Krishna. She'll be tying the footwear for Krishna, put it and things like that. He'll also take foot and then he'll help her. When he does that service, Krishna is so pleased with him that he will just rub his hair and his like a pat on his head, very mildly, very brilliantly. You just love that act of Krishna doing that. Now he's not seeing Krishna as a Lord. He's seeing Krishna as a friend, and he wants to serve his friend. So when Radharani calls him, hey, I have a message for the Krishna. Can you take it to him, give it to him? He'll do that. It is not that, oh, she is Supreme Goddess, he is Supreme Lord, I will do whatever because I have to do. No. He did it because Radharani wanted to do which will give pleasure to Krishna. He did that. So like that, there are a lot of intimate details about Gopakumaras. When you read them, you will enjoy them. How innocent they were. Because they're so innocent, Krishna protected them so much. Okay, let's look at the characteristic of Vatsalya. The characters of Vatsalya, they're very protective about their son. How protective they are? They don't care what danger comes to them, but they'll go protect the child. Okay? So the best example is Kaliya. So in the Kaliya pastime, Krishna is dancing on the hood of Kaliya. At some point in time, he would go deep into the water and there won't be any sound, nothing. They won't see Krishna for some time. This is all underwater Leela dancing is going on. Other time, Nanda Maharaj comes. Now everyone, all the Gopakams will say, hey, the river is fully poisoned and the fumes were coming out of that river. If you just inhale them, you'll fall sick. So they all stopped Nanda Maharaj not to go. He said, no, what the hell are you talking? I have to save my son. I'll go. I'll do something. I'll save my son. So he goes running to dive into the water, but the fumes of the water will be so intense that he'll put Nanda Maharaj into an unconscious state. See, they didn't care for their life. They just gave it. On the contrary, let's assume Nanda Maharaj knew Krishna Supreme Lord. What he would say? Hey, don't worry, he's a Supreme Lord, he's a creator. In fact, he created Kaliya. So you think Kaliya can kill him? Nothing. You'll see he'll just kill him. It's all his Leela. So he'll keep quiet. That means he becomes very neutral to any of the pastimes or anything. That means there's no expression of that love. And there's no expression of love. How will he serve? He cannot serve the Lord. So that's when they fall down into Shantaras. So
that's how Balaram was, no Prabhu.
Okay, so Balaram, there are many Balarams, right? So for example, the Balaram in the universe who holds this Anda, right? He is not that Balaram that we are talking about, the Supreme Lord Balaram. He's Adishesh, but the Adishesh is different. So this Adishesh is in the Shantaras. Right, so little bit complication. But how do you understand the complication is you read it and you keep on playing it back in your thought process. Why this, why that, why this? Then you'll understand the variegatedness. Something very brilliant. So I'll give you an example. Just to understand how different these are. See, in the last class, I taught you about how Vyasa wrote the Veda Shastra, right? So who are the 4 disciples of Vyasa? Sumantu, Paila, correct?
Jaimini.
Jaimini, Vaishampayana.
Okay.
Correct, no?
Yes, Prabhu.
So now, Yajur Veda was given to Vaishampayana. Okay, then he said, you learn these scriptures, the Veda Shastra, Yajur Veda, and you start to expand this so that more detail can come and people of lesser intelligence, as time, Kala evolves, people can understand. So when Vaishampayana, the Rishi, he started to write Yajurveda. He composed Yajurveda. Then he also taught this Yajurveda to his disciples. And one of his disciples is Yajnavalkya. Okay, who's this Yajnavalkya? The same Yajnavalkya who comes in the ministry, the, what do you say, the Brahmana or the learned scholar. In this thing of who's Sita mother, Sita's my father?
Janaka.
Janaka Maharaj, in the kingdom of Janaka Maharaj. Now, what happened when Vaishampayana taught this Yajurveda? Yajnavalkya learned that the most. Okay, now after learning, he became proud. How he became proud? He laughed one day at his own spiritual master by saying, all your disciples are useless kinds. They can't understand all this Yajurveda and not possible. So he made fun of his god brothers. So the spiritual master got very angry and then told, you are no more my disciple, you get out of here. One who finds faults with my other disciples is never a disciple of mine. So he curses him that whatever Yajurveda I taught you, you better vomit it. That means you'll forget it. Vomit it here and then go away. So then immediately he pours out all the knowledge of Yajurvedam that he learned. It just comes out of his mouth. Then all his other disciples who are now greedy, hey, it's a great opportunity. Then they want to take those pieces of Yajurveda and then swallow it. That's knowledge, right? That's back to Godhead. But you can't do that because there are some Vaishnava etiquette. Why you can't do it? So what they did, they transformed themselves as birds. A specific type of birds with a beak and a long neck. And immediately how the birds peck the seeds, they peck the Yajurveda and then fully all the disciples absorbed it. That means they got the knowledge of Yajurveda. Now, Yajnavalkya got very disturbed. What did he say? Okay, no problem, I'll leave. He left. He left and what he did, he went away straight and prayed to sun god. Now, when he went to sun god, he was very clear. He did not pray to sun god as, okay, you're sun god, you're supreme, give me shelter like that. No, he said, sun god, you're very powerful because you're a disciple of the Supreme Lord Vishnu. By his energy, by his Shakti, that you're manifesting as this, the biggest energy object in this universe. And you're sheltering so many living entities. And then he offers such pleasing prayers, connecting the Supreme Lord and his disciple, like that. So then, even though, just a second. Just a second, I have an important call, 1 second. Hare Krishna. Sorry. So what were we discussing?
The Sun Lord was so powerful.
So then what happened? Even though he offered his praise to Sun, but he realized it is Supreme Lord, the eyes of the Supreme Lord. That's what Shastra also says, right? So Lord was pleased. He said that, your offerings, even though you're deviating into this path and this one, Lord was pleased. He gave him the knowledge of Yajurveda. And then he came out with another Yajurveda expansion. And he came out with 15 versions, 15 divisions of the Yajurveda. And then you have so many rishis and things like that. That's why you have the disciplic succession even through Yajnavalkya also. Right? So the point to understand is that the merciful nature of the Lord, whoever takes his shelter, irrespective of situation, whoever takes his shelter, the Lord is pleased. Bali Maharaj, right? If you look at the crime Bali Maharaj did, so much. The Devata suffered a lot. But still, when Bali said, okay, I'll surrender, Lord, 1 minute, fraction of a second, he changed. And he completely accepted his surrender. So, for devotees like Nanda Maharaj, for devotees like the Gopakumaras, the gopis, the expression of that level of surrender is at the extreme, even without knowing the real position of Krishna. And hence, they become the most dearest. Okay. Hare Krishna. Not able to hear. Yeah, Mataji, I just muted for a second because I had a call. Now we are able to hear?
Yes, Prabhu, we are able to hear.
Mataji is saying not able to hear.
No, able to hear.
Yeah, we can hear, Prabhu.
Okay. Okay, so now let's move forward. 5.13.
Hare Krishna.
13.
Adhyatyanta vichitrani vaidyantrani
Aditrani
mahotsave Krishna Vishweshware Anante Nandasya Vrajam Agate. Translation and purport by Srila Prabhupada, Jai Srila Prabhupada. Now that the all-pervading unlimited Lord Krishna, the master of the cosmic manifestation, had arrived within the estate of Maharaja Nanda, various types of musical instruments resounded to celebrate the great festival. Purport. The Lord says in Bhagavad Gita 4.7, Yada yada hi dharmasya glanir bhavati bharata abhyuthanam adharmasya tadatmanam srujamyaham. Whenever and wherever there is a decline in religious practice, O descendant of Bharata, and the predominant rise of irreligion, at that time I descend myself. Whenever Krishna comes, once in a day of Brahma, he comes to the house of Nanda Maharaj in Vrindavana. Krishna is the master of all creation, Sarva Loka Maheshwaram. Therefore, not only in the neighborhood of Nanda Maharaja's estate, but all over the universe and in all the other universes, musical sounds celebrated the auspicious arrival of the Lord. Hare Krishna.
So are you celebrating Janmashtami like this?
Yes, Prabhu.
So now you need to increase your standard also.
Yes.
Okay. 15.
Gopa parasparam hrista dadikshira ghritam buddhi asinchato vilampanto navani taischa chikshipuhu. Is this correct, the way I read, or no?
Oh, you changed the tune, but it's okay.
Translation. In gladness, the cowherd men enjoyed the great festival by splashing one another's bodies with a mixture of curd, condensed milk, butter and water. They threw butter on one another and smeared it on one another's bodies. Purport. for this statement, we can understand that 5,000 years ago, not only was there enough milk, butter, and curd to eat, drink, and cook with, but when there was a festival, it would be thrown about without restriction. There was no limit to how extensively milk, butter, curd, and other such products were used in human society. Everyone had an ample stock of milk, and by using it in many varied milk preparations, people would keep good health in natural ways and thus enjoy life in Krishna consciousness. Hare Krishna.
Krishna. See, there are few things that you can recollect for. If you can go to Google and then check economic development in the 1800s, that is pre and the British era and then pre-British era and things like that. India was the most powerful economy in the world, the highest. The amount of money that they made were phenomenal through trade, through this and things like that. So that's why, all these Mohammedans, this Mughal emperor, and then the Britishers, the French, the Persians, how much they looted, still there's so much wealth in this country. Now, in the earlier days, if you read these ancient books, how they would come and ask. Today they're asking you, hey, how are you? Are you doing? Do you have a good job? Do you have a good salary? Like that they're asking, right? Earlier days, how do they ask? They would come and ask whether were there regular rains in your kingdom, in your place. Whether it's summer, winter or not, no, all the time. They used to have one rain every week. Okay, and very predictable pattern. So what does that mean? That means they can do so much of crop farming management. They keep on produce so much. That's the kind of rain. So you see how nature was also very cooperative. How nature was also supporting the life of an individual for him to, produce so much, do so much. I'm not even talking about Dwapara, I'm still talking about Kali. I'm talking about, 500 years, 400 years back, 300, like that it was. So, because modern age civilization, we are losing many things. But we asked Krishna that to be born here during this time. That's why we are losing many things. How come all of you silent today? No solid discussions.
You're hearing, bro. It's new to us.
You can type in Google to figure out what was there was no famine situation in India earlier. The whole country was so rich. Imagine in Kali Yuga, 500 years back, there's so much richness. Imagine Ramarajyam and all these things. Unlimited richness would have been there.
Prabhu, not even Kali Yuga, 100 years, Prabhu. When we were children in our villages, we used to get this milk and buttermilk and all just free, Prabhu. We used to go and take it.
Yeah. Yes. And so many times, when people go for weddings or things like that, they will take these bananas, these milk, this is what they would take and gift it to them. It's not that they take some material object, no, lifeless objects. Today, if you take bananas and go to a wedding and gift them, they laugh at you. They'll say, what are you giving bananas? Why can't you give me an iPhone? That's what they'll ask.
But in villages, they'll bring now, Prabhu.
Yeah, still this culture is prevailing. But it's a matter of time. That's also going to die, That's power of Kala.
Now, digitalization happened, Mataji, even in villages. So there will be change.
They will send you a digital banana, Mataji.
Nothing we can do.
Okay. 15, 16, can you read?
Yeah. Text 5.15 and 16. Nando Mahamanas Ebhyo Vaso Alankara Godhanam Suta Magadha Vandibhyo Yo Anye Vidyopa Jivinaha
Ajivinaha.
Tai Kame adinatma yato chittam apujayat Vishnor Aradhanarthaya Swa Putrasyodayaya cha. Translation and purport by Srila Prabhupada. The great-minded Maharaj Nanda gave clothing, ornaments, and cows in charity to the cowherd men in order to please Lord Vishnu, and thus he improved the condition of his own son in all respects. He distributed charity to the Sutas, the Magadhas, the Vandis, and men of all other professions, according to their educational qualifications, and satisfied everyone's desire. Purpose. Although it has become fashionable to speak of Daridra Narayana, the words Vishnu Aradhanarthaya do not mean that all the people satisfied by Nanda Maharaja in this great ceremony were Vishnus. Sorry, in this great ceremony were Vishnus. So they were not Daridra, nor were they Narayana. Rather, they were devotees of Narayana, and by their educational qualifications, they would satisfy Narayana. Therefore, satisfying them was an indirect way of satisfying Lord Vishnu. Mad Bhakta Puja Bhyadhika Bhagavatam 11.19.21. The Lord says, worshipping my devotees is better than worshipping me directly. The Varnashrama system is entirely meant for Vishnu Aradhana, worship of Lord Vishnu. Varnashramacharvata Purushena Parah Puman Vishnur Aradhyate. Vishnu Purana 3.8.9. The ultimate goal of life is to please Lord Vishnu, the Supreme Lord. The uncivilized man or materialistic person, however, does not know this aim of life. Nate viduh swartha gatim hi Vishnum. Bhagavatam 7.5.31. One's real self-interest lies in satisfying Lord Vishnu, not satisfying Lord Vishnu, but instead attempting to become happy through material adjustments. Bahir Artham Maninaha is the wrong way for happiness, because Vishnu is the root of everything. If Vishnu is pleased, everyone is pleased. In particular, once children and family members become happy in all respects. Nanda Maharaja wanted to see the newborn child happy. That was his purpose. Therefore, he wanted to satisfy Lord Vishnu, and to satisfy Lord Vishnu, it was necessary to satisfy his devotees, such as the learned Brahmanas, Magadhas, and Sutas. Thus, in a redundant way, in a roundabout way, ultimately, it was Lord Vishnu who was to be satisfied.
So what is the key understanding here?
So serving the devotees of Lord Vishnu.
Yes. And thereby you are satisfying Lord Vishnu, right? So our Srila Prabhupada used to do this. His father, Gaur Mohan De, regularly he used to call these yogis, these brahmanas, these sannyasis. He would call them, serve them nice lunch and feast, make them happy, and then send them home. So that's what he used to do. So very important. So he was very clear how to satisfy Vishnu.
So in this translation, third line, it says, and thus he improved the condition of his own son in all respects. That means to say he is pleased the Lord Krishna. That's what we have to understand. So,
no, see, Maharaj Nanda gave clothing, ornaments, and cows in charity to the cowherd men in order to please Lord Vishnu. Okay, now he's clear that he wants to please Lord Vishnu. And thus he improved the condition of his own son in all respect. Now, what is he saying? Okay, when I give this charity in the name of my son will be blessed. My son will be blessed, he will be taken care, Vishnu is happy. So that means it clearly tells he doesn't know that he is Lord, Supreme Lord himself. He is just doing all these things to please Vishnu, to shower mercy on him, benediction on him. Huh?
Oh,
So I was just searching Google. It says that suttas are children who are born to mixed varnas. So, for example, Kshatriya could be husband, mother could be Brahmana. This is Anilop. Okay. Now, this is Pratiloma. Pratiloma means the woman is lower, higher varna, husband is lower varna. Aniloma means husband is higher varna, women is lower varna. So now, when you have such cross varnas, improper cross varnas, then children born for such husband, father and mother is called sutas. They said, okay, I'll give it that also. Okay, then this Magadas, it says, so it says Magadas is also a certain clan of people mainly arising in the Kshatriya community. Okay. So there also in the Kshatriya community, you have cross marriages, things like that, and then children produced out of that is Magadha. So he gave to them also. That means he didn't distinguish. He gave all the varnas, he gave also such crossed varnas. He said, okay, take them, and he gave like that. Everyone he pleased. Everyone needs to benedict or what do you say? Bless Krishna. That was his idea. If Vishnu is pleased, everyone is pleased. Since the cows and the Brahmanas are, what do you say, the eyes, the strength of Vishnu, Vishnu will be pleased, so I'll do. Let him bless Krishna. That's his idea. That's why it says, Prabhupada says, in a roundabout, ultimately does Lord Vishnu will be satisfied. It was done in a roundabout manner, indirectly. Yeah. Okay, let's do 17.
Magadas, like Prabhu, in earlier days when you go to invite for wedding and all that, I have seen, and they will come to our house. They will say, such and family, such and son family, they have come to invite you for their wedding and announce matter.
Correct.
They are called as Vande Magadas, Prabhu.
Yes, what he says is true.
It used to be so nice.
Now, where, Mataji? How deteriorated it is? People don't even go to others' houses. WhatsApp one message.
That's a horrible thing.
Horrible it is. WhatsApp message and phone call. Can you come?
Yes.
Even, I am still not that old in generation. Even in my generation, my sister's generation, we used to go house to house, give the patrika with a lot of turmeric, akshada, everything. Then we invited them personally. We gave them gifts. Said, great celebrations, please come. And people came with a lot of joy. No expectation, they came with a lot of joy. Now where?
Everybody is busy, Prabhu, busy.
10 years, 15 years, the whole thing changed.
Correct.
I mean, is this what we want? We don't want this.
Okay.
People are close to each other, yet they're very far. They don't meet, they don't everything through phone. Or not even phone, they don't even talk over phone. Send a message by WhatsApp, asynchronous mode, and that's it. Very disturbing. Okay, anyway. Kala Chakra will evolve and time will deteriorate. Time deteriorate means culture, values, human values, God consciousness, everything will deteriorate. It's just that we are holding on to the mercy of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Otherwise, no hope. Okay, 17.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. Text 5.17. Rohini cha Mahabhaga Nanda Gopabhinandita Vyacharad Divya Vasashrak Kantabharana Bhushita Translation and purport by Srila Prabhupada. Jai Srila Prabhupada. The most fortunate Rohini, the mother of Baladeva, was honored by Nanda Maharaja and Yashoda, and thus she also dressed gorgeously and decorated herself with a necklace, a garland, and other ornaments. She was busy wandering here and there to receive the women who were guests at the festival.
Hari.
Rohini, another wife of Vasudeva's, was also kept under the care of Nanda Maharaja with her son Baladeva. Because her husband was imprisoned by Kamsa, she was not very happy. But on the occasion of Krishna Janmashtami, Nandotsava, when Nanda Maharaja gave dresses and ornaments to others, he also gave gorgeous garments and ornaments to Rohini so that she could take part in the festival. Thus, she also was busy receiving the women who were guests. Because of her good fortune in being able to raise Krishna and Balaram together, she is described as Mahabhaga, greatly fortunate. Hare Krishna.
So Rohini is wife of Nanda Maharaj or wife of someone else?
No.
Vasudeva Prabhu.
Vasudeva Prabhu.
Vasudeva's wife.
Okay, good. No one is sleeping now. Okay.
No.
Keep testing us, Prabhu.
No, you are describing, no, so we are in that mood, Prabhu, each one of us.
So she also described Mahabhaga. Great fortune. Fantastic. It's a great lady. So it is because of Rohini mother, we got Lord Jagannath. Okay, so 5.18.
Prabhu, because of Rohini?
We got Lord Jagannath, no?
No, Prabhu.
Yeah.
Jagannath is Krishna, no?
Yeah, but why Krishna transformed into Jagannath?
The pastimes that Rohini was telling to the gopis and others.
Because Rohini is explanation of Krishna's Vrindavan pastimes to the 16,108 queens were so nectarian.
Yes.
That Krishna himself, when he heard, he melted.
Oh.
And it became Jagannath.
That's why the hands were restricted.
Yeah. His whole body started to fuse. Because Rohini mother narrated the pastimes of Krishna and Balaram so nectariously.
Yeah, for Krishna's wives.
To Krishna's wives. See what happens. See, the queens of Mathura, so not Mathura, there's Dwarka, they were so eager to know pastimes of the Lord in Vraj. Okay, so they didn't want to ask. And when Krishna saved them, saved from Narakasura and made them queens, they were bewildered about their Lord and said, oh, my Lord, we want to hear your other pastimes. Now you're an adult, you're not performing those wonderful pastimes. So they want to hear. So they decided whom to hear, where to hear. Then they came to know, okay, Mother Rohini is the best. She will tell me all the pastimes. So they all rushed to Vraj to hear those pastimes from Mother Rohini. And hearing that, Krishna became so, mesmerized, or he melted actually. He melted really, that he became Jagannath.
Subhadra was also present, no Prabhu?
Yes. Yeah, all three. So that means the pastime is not just for nectarian for Krishna, even to others also, right? And it is said that when the queens, when they're hearing from Rohini Mata, none of them even moved, I believe. They didn't even want to close their eyelids. They didn't want their ears also to be disturbed for a second. That much involved they were hearing these pastimes. So it's really wonderful. Okay, let's hear 5.18.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. Tata Arabhya Nandasya Rajasarva Samriddhiman Hare Nivasatma Gunai Rama Kridam Abunripa. Translation and purport. O Maharaja Parikshit, the home of Nanda Maharaja is eternally the abode of the Supreme Personality of Godhead and his transcendental qualities, and is therefore always naturally endowed with the opulence of all wealth. Yet, beginning from Lord Krishna's appearance there, it became the place for the pastimes of the goddess of fortune. Purport, as stated in the Brahma Samhita 5.29,
Lakshmi Sahasra Sata Samudram
Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami.
Sahasra Lakshmi.
Thousands.
No, Sahasra means unlimited. Yeah.
The abode of Krishna is always served by hundreds and thousands of goddesses of fortune.
No, this hundreds and thousands means it's not a definitive figure. Yeah.
Okay.
Lekka lekunda like hundreds and thousands. Entano like atla. Yeah.
Wherever Krishna goes, the goddess of fortune naturally resides with him. The chief of the goddesses of fortune is Srimati Radharani. Therefore, Krishna's appearance in the land of Vraja indicated that the chief goddess of fortune, Radharani, would also appear there very soon. Nanda Maharaja's abode was already opulent, and since Krishna had appeared, it would be opulent in all respects. Hare Krishna.
More opulent. So Srimati Radharani is the source of all Lakshmi. She is a source of all Sahasra Lakshmis. Okay. Yeah. So 5.19.
Start again, Prabhu.
Gopan Gokula Rakshayam Irupyamakuram Gataha Nanda Kamsasya Varshikyam Paramdatam Kurudvaha. Sukadeva Goswami continued. Thereafter, my dear King Parikshit, O best protector of the Kuru dynasty, Nanda Maharaj appointed the local cowherd men to protect Gokula, and then went to Mathura to pay the yearly taxes to Kamsa. So that's when he meets Vasudeva. Purport by Srila Prabhupada, Jai Srila Prabhupada. Because the killing of babies was going on and had already become well known, Nanda Maharaj was very much afraid of his newborn child. Thus, he appointed the local cowherd men to protect his home and child. He wanted to go immediately to Mathura to pay the taxes due and also to offer some presentation for the sake of his newborn son. For the protection of the child, he had worshipped various demigods and forefathers and given charity to everyone's satisfaction. Similarly, Nanda Maharaj wanted not only to pay Kamsa the yearly taxes, but also to offer some presentation so that Kamsa too would be satisfied. His only concern was how to protect his transcendental child, Krishna. So you can see, Nanda Maharaj was also doing demigod worship. That means he didn't even have an iota or a clue about the potency of his child, who his child was. Then he'll go on. He'll go and ask this family priest, Gargacharya. Then he'll ask him, please draw the horoscope for him. Tell me who he is. And that discussion is very wonderful, actually. We'll get those discussions also now. Okay. So excellent. So 5:20.
What now? Now Nanda is going to give a gift to Kamsa to inform that there
Not
is
gift, tax. Tax
also plus a gift also, Prabhu.
No, the gift is for not okay, like a gift meaning like what do you say? On behalf of the newborn child, like that.
That in Kamsa will come to know that there is a newborn child and he may kill, no, Prabhu. That is what.
Yeah, but he doesn't know, no. Nanda Maharaj doesn't know that Kamsa is killing because Krishna is there as newborn child and things like that, right? So that's when the innocence comes. He doesn't know.
Okay.
That's how Kamsa sends Putana. That's not correct.
No, that we studied, no, in the earlier chapters. What did we study? That his ministers, they get together and they offer bad advice to Kamsa. And Kamsa, being the king of all those demons, Kamsa orders, based on the advice of the ministers, go and kill. And so already the demons are entering Vrindavan to kill each and every child. That's why it says, see, look at this. Because the killing of babies were going on and had already become known, Nanda Maharaj is very much afraid of newborn child. It means killing of child is going on based on the advice of the ministers. Some of the other Kamsa is already killing. But Nanda Maharaj is not able to relate that Kamsa is the one who's doing. He may be thinking some demon is doing. So maybe he's thinking I'll take protection from my king. So that's how it is. Yeah, 520. Can you read?
Page 20. Vasudeva upastuti.
Vasudeva.
Vasudeva upastuti. Bharataram.
Bhrataram.
Bharataram.
No, ba nahi, bro. Bra. Bhrataram. Bhrataram.
Bhrataram. Nandam agatham. Agatam. Jatva datta. Jatva datta. Karam rajne. Yayu tad avamoktanam. Translation. When Vasudeva heard Nanda Maharaja, his very dear friend and brother had come to Mathura and already paid the tax to Krishna. He went to Nanda Maharaja's residence. Taxes to Krishna. He went to Nanda
Krishna. All wonderful sounds are coming.
Vasudeva and Nanda Maharaja were so intimately connected that they live with like brother. Furthermore, it is learned from the notes of Sripada
Madhvacharya
that Vasudeva and Nanda Maharaja were stepbrothers. Sorry. Vasudeva's father,
Surasena,
married a
Vaishya girl.
And from her Nanda Maharaja was born later. Nanda Maharaja himself married a Vaishya girl.
Yashoda.
Therefore, his family is celebrated as a Vaishya family, and Krishna, identifying himself as their son, took charge of Vaishya activities.
Rishi Goraksha Vanijyam.
Balaram represents plowing the land of agriculture and therefore always carries in his hand a plow where Krishna tends cows and therefore carries
in his hand.
That the two brother represents Rishi
Raksha and Goraksha. So now you can see Nanda Maharaj and Vasudeva were cousin brothers. Right? So now you can see how Balaram and Krishna, they immediate cousin brothers. Because their father were brothers born of the same father. Is that clear? Should we draw a chart?
Yes.
So Surasena had a Kshatriya wife. To the Kshatriya wife was born Vasudeva. So Surasena's son is Vasudeva. Surasena married a Vaishya girl. To that Vaishya girl was born Nanda Maharaj. Now, since that girl was a Vaishya girl, Nanda Maharaj practiced, became a Vaishya. He took farming, he took up all these things and do it. But since Nanda Maharaj married another Vaishya girl, he was celebrated among the Vaishyas. So that's how Nanda Maharaj became Vaishya and Vasudeva remained a Kshatriya. Surasena had one more son. And that son was, I don't know his name. And that son had another son. His is Uddhava. So now we can see how Krishna and Uddhava are cousins. Ribol?
Yes, Prabhu.
Okay. Now Surasena had one daughter. That daughter was married to Bhoja dynasty. And she became Kunti Bhoja. So since Kunti was originally son of Surasena, and she got to manage another kingdom, the Bhoja dynasty, and Kunti got married to
Pandu.
the Kauravas. So hence the Kauravas in general, then came the Pandavas because of Pandu Maharaj. So all the Kauravas, so the Hastinapur family is called Kaurava family. In that Kaurava family, the children of Pandu Maharaj, who is husband of Kunti, are called Pandavas. So Pandavas are also Kauravas in one aspect. So now we can see, because of Kunti, because of Vasudeva, because of Surasena, all these people are interrelated. So hence the Pandavas became cousins of Krishna. In fact, to Duryodhana, all these things are also samely related to Krishna. Able to connect?
They're also called Kurus, no, Prabhu? Kurus.
Yeah, Kurus is general, yeah. Kurus. Is the lineage clear?
Prabhu, here one clarification, Prabhu. Prabhu, normally male member who whatever the Varna carries, so that is normally taken into account, no, Prabhu, not the wife.
See, take the example of Vidura. See, how was Vidura born?
Dasi Putra.
See, you got the point.
Correct, Prabhu. Normally they called as Kshatriyas, no, Prabhu?
No. Vidura, where? He was born to a Sudra woman, no?
Yes, woman is Shudra, but he born to Vyasudeva, no, Prabhu.
See, Vasudeva was instrumental for his birth, yeah, but he is not his, what do you say, biological father. He through his potency, he impregnated.
Correct.
You get the point?
Yes, sir.
When he impregnated, he also impregnated a Sudra, or a servant in the kingdom. Are you getting the point?
Yes, sir. But I mean, in the modern this thing, Hindu Succession Act, normally we
Modern, that act was not even there during this time.
Yeah.
So now, Surasena married a Vaishya girl, could be. Kings marry many women here. All of them don't become queens. That you should understand. Today you have a nice movie. What is the latest movie? Patan, right? So you will see, you have some free time, you will go see Patan and come. But kings, what do they do that time? There was no Patan that time. So they'll marry a girl. You get the point, Prabhuji?
Yes.
Like that it is.
Uddhava's lineage, please tell Prabhu.
Uddhava's
lineage, you please tell Prabhu.
Vasudev's elder brother.
Elder brother's son.
Son.
Okay.
I forgot his name, his elder brother's.
Vasudeva's elder brother's son, Prabhu. Is Uddhava, Prabhu? No, how, Prabhu? Vasudeva's elder brother's son's son.
Devabhaga.
Okay, Devabhaga's son is Uddhava.
Yeah, Devabhaga is brother of Vasudeva.
Brother of Vasudeva. So much confusion. So much of confusion.
What is there? Vasudeva has own elder brother.
Son.
And that elder brother name is Devabhaga.
Devabhaga's son is Uddhava.
Uddhava. That's all.
Okay. And the daughter.
Okay, Prabhu.
Kunti Bhoja. Daughter.
Your family is a very small family, Mataji.
Yes, Prabhu. That is why.
See, in Vaishyas, the families are generally very, very big.
9, 10.
Each one of us will have so many cousins, so many aunties, so many this one. We don't need to go outside and call anyone. Just call within the family, you will have 1,000 members for the wedding.
Those marriages were performed in the houses only, Prabhu. Only our family sector itself.
True. Okay, let's read 5.21.
Prabhu, I'll read Prabhu.
Yes, read.
Tam drushtva sahasottaya dehaha pranamivagatam priyatamam dorbyam sasvaje prema vihvalaha. 21. Translation by Srila Prabhupada, Jai Srila Prabhupada. When Nanda Maharaj heard that Vasudeva had come, he was overwhelmed with love and affection, being as pleased as if his body had regained its life. Seeing Vasudeva suddenly present, he got up and embraced him with both arms. Purport. Nanda Maharaja was older than Vasudeva. Therefore, Nanda Maharaja embraced him and Vasudeva offered him namaskara.
So now, let's look at this translation, very brilliant translation. So, why Vasudeva was very happy seeing Nanda Maharaj?
Because Krishna is with him now.
Yeah, and Krishna is his son. Vasudeva knows that, but Nanda Maharaj doesn't know that.
Doesn't know.
If Nanda Maharaj knows that actually Krishna is Vasudeva's son, I am growing up, he will never meet Vasudeva. Why? He will have fear that he may ask him back. Right? So Vasudeva knows his love and affection for Nanda Maharaj is because of Krishna. Okay.
But when he exchanges the babies, they both meet, no?
No. They are completely put in Yogamaya Nidra. So, everyone in Mathura. In Vrindavan. Gokula.
But as Mataji said, Prabhu, there are different versions, Prabhu.
Yeah.
Where I heard that, they met each other and then they exchanged.
Yeah, because Nanda Maharaj knows.
No. Nanda Maharaj doesn't know. This is what Bhagavatam says.
Oh.
If there are different versions, I don't personally follow. It's left to you.
So in one of our classes only.
Which classes? In our Bhagavatam class? No. At least I would have never said.
No, in temple also.
No, Prabhu.
Huh?
Only Yashoda Mata had twins, they used to say.
No.
Twins they used to say, but Nanda Maharaj also doesn't know this exchange of children.
He doesn't know about it. Exchange of children. Everybody will be sleeping.
Later on, he'll come to know.
That is when they come to
Mathura.
Yes.
Mathura.
It's still a long time to go. In fact, here, when Vasudeva meets Nanda Maharaj, he wants to tell, but he's afraid. What if Kamsa comes to know? Then he may kill his child. So he didn't want to do that. That's why he keeps it as a secret. Okay. 22.
I'll read, Prabhu. Hare Krishna. 622. Pujitaha sukam asinaha prashtvanayam adritaha prasaktadihi svatmaja yor idam aha vishampate. Translation by Srila Prabhupada, Jai Srila Prabhupada. O Maharaja Parikshit, having thus been received and welcomed by Nanda Maharaja with honor, Vasudeva sat down very peacefully and inquired about his own two sons because of intense love for them. Hare Krishna.
So now without doubt, now he's playing the game very without doubt. Nanda Maharaj knows that Rohini's son is Vasudeva's son. Okay. Rohini is second wife of Vasudeva. First wife is Devaki. So Nanda Maharaj knows that. Now, Vasudeva, in order to make it like general inquiry, right? He's inquiring both. Okay. 5.23.
Vishtya pravasyasa Idanim aprajasyate prajasanya nivritasya prajayat samapadhyatha.
Translation.
My dear brother Nanda Maharaja, at an advanced age, you had no son at all, and were hopeless of having one. Therefore, that you now have a son is a sign of great fortune. Perfect. At an advanced age, one generally cannot beget a male child. If by chance one does beget a child at this age, the child is generally female. Thus, Vasudeva indirectly asked Nanda Maharaja whether he had actually begotten a male child or a female child. Vasudeva knew that Yashoda had given birth to a female child, whom he had stolen and replaced with a male child. This was a great mystery, and Vasudeva wanted to determine whether this mystery was already known to Nanda Maharaja. On inquiring, however, he was confident that the mystery of Krishna's birth and his being placed in the care of Yashoda was still hidden. There was no danger, since Kamsa at least could not learn what had already happened. Hare Krishna.
See, now this verse is confirming that Nanda Maharaj did not know. Yes, no?
Yes,
what's happening?
Yes,
Prabhu. Yes, Prabhu.
So now it's confirming. So now Ashokatma Prabhu, you don't need to have any more doubts.
Yes, Prabhu. It's got clear.
Prabhupada and Srimad Bhagavatam both have confirmed. At this point in time, Nanda Maharaj does not know. Okay.
Now Shyam Prabhu also confirmed.
Okay, 524. So yeah.
24. Dishtya samsara chakresmin vartamana punarbhavaha upalabdho bhavan adya durlabham priya darshanam. It is also by good fortune that I am seeing you. Having obtained this opportunity, I feel as if I have taken birth again. Even though one is present in this world, to meet the intimate friends and dear relatives in this material world is extremely difficult. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. Vasudeva had been imprisoned by Kamsa, and therefore, although present in Mathura, he was unable to see Nanda Maharaja for many years. Therefore, when they met again, Vasudeva considered this meeting to be another birth. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Okay.
Prabhu, one doubt, Prabhu. This imperfect senses was there only in Kali Yuga now, Prabhu, not before that.
No, Prakriti means imperfect senses. That's what you have to understand. Prakriti means not Kali Yuga, this Yuga. Brahmaloka, the same issues.
Okay.
Even Lord Brahmaji has same issues. Why? There are pastimes, where Brahmaji gets affected to his own daughter and he wants to unite with her and he runs after her, right? So the senses are so strong and gratifying, wants gratification. So even that great Brahmaji wanted to go. So you can see imperfection.
There also. Yes.
Yeah. Right? So this example you can understand. Prakriti means imperfect, illusion. Any other questions? Okay. So how is all your sadhana going? Sadhana is good?
Going good, Prabhu.
So now we have few announcements. One is Ram Navami is on 30th March. It's Tuesday. Not Tuesday, Thursday. So we're going to have an announcement and a small temple program, Katha and some Kirtan and then Prasadam on Ram Navami day. So it's fasting till 12, no? Yes, then 1st of April, see this year is Adhika Masa. You all know, right?
Yes, Prabhu.
This is Adhika Masa year. So we'll have 1 month of Purushottam also. So you have to get ready for all Purushottama related devotion. Now, because of Adhika Masa and change, this year is very strange. So what's happening, I'll tell you. Our Guru Maharaj, His Holiness Jayapatak Swami Maharaj, was born on Ekadasi day. So we always celebrate his Vyas Puja on Ekadasi day. But this year, what's happening? His Vyasa Puja is on 1st April, but that day is not an Ekadasi day. So, the Ekadasi is coming on 2nd. So, this is the first Ekadasi, or this is the first Vyasa Puja in the history of Guru Maharaj's life. That is birthday, his appearance day is celebrated on non-Ekadasi day. So hence we decided in the temple that we will celebrate his Vyasa Puja on the day of his appearance, that is on Saturday. So Saturday we'll have Guru Maharaj Vyasa Puja, and 12 o'clock after Aarati we'll have grain prasadam, grain feast prasadam. Okay, so that is very special this year. And Sunday will be Ekadasi. Of course, we'll take non-grain prasadam. Okay?
Okay, Prabhu.
So that's where we stand. So I thought this information should be known to both of you. Okay? Okay, thank you all so much. Have a wonderful evening. And Grantharaj Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Gurudev ki jai. Nitai Gaur Premanande. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhyevacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki jai. Vaishnava Thakur Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Om Tat Sat.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Have a wonderful evening.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, Dandavat Pranam.
Dandavat
Hare
Pranam,
Krishna.
Prabhu. Hare Krishna, Dandavat.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, Dandavat Pranam.
Hare Krishna. Dandavat.
Hare Krishna Prabhu.